introduce our Ward 3 candidates, Tim Aiden and Leigh Whatley. Tim Aiden, I invite you to come here tonight.
Good evening, and first, thank you to all the work that went on tonight's forum. I am Tim Aiden, your Ward 3 City Councilman, and I'm running for re-election. I've spent the last 4 years advocating for residents of Ward 3 and delivering on the campaign promises I made in 2021. I have priorities for a second term, but before I get to them, I was asked a very direct question worth covering. The question was, what differentiates you from your opponent? Given the time limits of this forum, I will provide a truncated version of what I told her. Bottom line up front, we have differentiating definitions of what responsible growth is based on our voting records, and each of us chooses a different decision-making process. When it comes to our differing visions for responsible growth, the Taylor apartment complex provides a great example. Over the last 15 years, Auburn has embraced being a college town, and their downtown is now made up of large modern apartment complexes that are the visual landscape. I love Auburn, but Opelika is not Auburn, and I don't believe we should follow them down that path. In my view, Opelika's treasure is our historical charm, and we need to protect that. My view is echoed by many during the debate over allowing the Taylor apartment complex. Many residents from Ward 3 across Opelika reached out to express our opposition to the project in our downtown over concerns that the city would be headed in a direction that we could end up in a place we don't want to be. I agree, and I voted against all the rezonings and voted against any subsequent city funding towards that project. According to the Planning Commission meeting minutes from 25 January 2022, my opponent voted in favor of all 3 agenda items concerning the Taylor. When it comes to decision-making processes, an example of our differentiating views is the River House Bed and Breakfast debate. Since January 2024, I have heard many people in opposition state that they heard that this will be used strictly as an event center. 2 weeks ago, at the NAACP candidate forum, my opponent stated, and I quote, "They're lying to you. The city council is lying when they say this won't be an event center," end quote. I do believe it useful to set the record straight if you're voting for the candidate you believe will make decisions in the best interests of the city. Mine and the city council's vote on May 20th was to deny the passing of legislation that targeted one business in Opelika. In making that decision, information was gathered from more than just the rumor mill. Alison Kovac, one of the proprietors, laid out their actual business plans. She composed a letter that was read for the record, and I do encourage anybody interested to listen to that YouTube recording for the whole letter, but here are a few key lines. Quote, "Our primary use includes 5 luxury suites for short-term overnight stays. We want to emphasize that this is not a frat house, this is not a party house, this is not an event rental hall. Outdoor events would occur sparingly and under thoughtful oversight. Our funding projections show only 10% of our revenue coming from interior events and 1.37% outdoor events over an entire year," end quote. From the beginning, there has been little openness to actually hearing from the proprietors and learning their true plans. The narrative that took off was the spreading of fear and accusation. Much like the inflammatory accusation the city council is lying, no basis in reality and zero evidence of support. When I'm making decisions, I will continue to vote based on evidence and based on gathering information from all sides of the topic. Looking forward now to the second term, my priorities are: 1, further investment into Opelika's infrastructure, specifically stormwater management, as many residents in Ward 3 are seeing their yards collapse, flood, and foundations erode. Number 2, a comprehensive review of Opelika's boards and commissions to ensure we have efficiency and best practices being used throughout. Number 3, work with Opelika City Schools to implement a water safety program so that we can prevent children from drowning in the future. Number 4, continue to advocate for the residents of Opelika's Ward 3. Thank you for your time, and please vote for me on 26 August.
Next, we'll go on to Leigh Whatley.
Good evening. I'm Leigh Whatley. I attended Auburn University where I earned a bachelor's degree in early childhood education and then taught 2nd grade. I've been married to Barry Whatley for 33 years, and we have raised our 4 children here at Opelika's historic district. 25 years ago, we moved back to Opelika. We were questioned, why are we moving to Auburn? Opelika was not booming, and many felt that that little too often. But our heart was in Opelika, and we purchased a historic home which the owners had struggled to sell. The historic district was not a heavily sought neighborhood, but we saw a future in Opelika. My husband and I were some of the first to support Mayor Gary Fuller. My husband was a campaign manager, and I was active in his campaign every election cycle. As a result of these events, I've been involved in Opelika firsthand for over 25 years. I have been involved to become a thriving town again under the great leadership of Mayor Fuller. I've been fortunate to serve on the Historic Preservation Committee for 10 years, and I'm currently serving 5 years on the Planning Commission. As a result, I feel that it has helped me prepare my city for my future role as City Council member. I listen to the citizens who are affected by my vote, and you will see that on my voting record. I feel that simply voting for or against something is not enough. As a City Council representative, I will be passionate and will diligently fight for what I believe is best and desired by the citizens. I believe that public input is not being taken seriously or respected, and I plan to make sure that I treat all citizens with respect, diligently listen, and consider all issues. I have witnessed the historic district become sought after, with home values tripling since I moved here. It's the heart of Ward 3, and with the catalyst of the Victorian Porch Tour and the Christmas and Railroad Team. These events have been very successful to Opelika and brought Opelika national attention. I want to protect the historic district, its charm and heritage. I believe as well that all neighborhoods need to be cohesive and consistent. We do not need commercialization in our neighborhoods. We talk about growth in our city, and it's easy to think only in terms of square footage and construction, but growth is more than numbers. It's about people, history, and the places that give our neighborhoods their character. I believe we can welcome new development without losing what makes our community special. That means making sure that buildings and homes preserve the character which we built over generations. When we protect this identity, we protect the very reason people want to live here in the first place. I will fight for development that works for our neighborhoods and not against them. I have also witnessed tremendous industrial and commercial growth in Opelika. I think Mayor Fuller has taken a successful path for this growth, and we must continue this path. We must continue to work with our city leaders to recruit and retain these industries. We must not forget the days of West Point Pebble, MPEC, diversified products, and other industries that are no longer with us. We must always be working on the next company for Opelika. Our downtown needs support as well. As City Council member President Eddie Smith stated recently, we need upgrades to our stormwater and sewer system. I'm not sure why our current City Council has not acted on this, but I plan to push this agenda. We need to be creative in ways to motivate our building owners to pursue occupants for their buildings. Vision Opelika is a citizen-driven organization which was a catalyst for our current sportsplex. With a success story such as that, why have we not created a similar organization to brainstorm our downtown challenges? In addition, we find success stories such as Tiger Town, a new police headquarters, a new fire station, sportsplex, Floor Park, and many others, which all are the result of decades, not 3 or 4 years in office. Planning, developing, and finally building. These success